What's up, everybody? Peace. Welcome to Info Media Reacts. I'm going to be very surgical with this particular video tonight as it relates to Umar Johnson, Dr. Umar Johnson. It's been a number of years since he claimed that he was going to open up a school, the FDMG Academy, for black boys. All these years have passed, and there is no school for black boys. Now, he did purchase buildings in Delaware, Wellington, which are not operable for a school. He chose an area where there are at least 2 penitentiaries, prisons in the area. He chose an area that not that long ago, I think it was ranked 6th or 7th in terms of violence, drugs, infestation in the community. He chose a location to put black boys, black young men in a bad environment. He also chose buildings that are on the Browning, meaning they are it's an environmental hazard in the area. They actually wanted to rebuild the area and provide facilities for the youth, parks, recreation. They were going to clean up the mess. I would make the argument that Umar Johnson, in his continued manipulation of black people as it relates to a school that is never going to open, because the buildings that he purchased are not up to code. No electrician, no engineer, no one in the city of Delaware, Wellington would approve this school to open up. He's been using the school as a simple way to grift on black people. He's been doing it for years. And you have black women. There are black women out here who are getting sick and tired of waiting on a school. As you see this black woman right here, they're sick and tired of being sick and tired because black women overall have been Umar Johnson's biggest supporters. And I want to thank whoever gave me a Cash App. I appreciate that. In this broadcast tonight, Lisa Jackson, thank you for the $10 super chat. Or Cash App. I appreciate it. But you see right here is a black woman. Black women have been Umar Johnson's biggest supporters by far. But even black women are asking, where is the school? It's been about, what, 14, almost going on 15 years now since Umar Johnson said that he was going to build a school. What he has are buildings. Many people call it abandos. This is what he has. And here is a clip. These buildings are in the same condition as they were when he first purchased the property. That once again, this area was due to be revamped. This was an area that has bad environmental issues that they were going to have to clean up. And Umar Johnson is actually impacting this community because they could have something workable with this building that you see right here. This originally was the Moyer Academy, and I'm going to give you some details about how, from start to finish, how this whole school situation that Umar Johnson has been using on black people for years now so that he can grift money by using guilt on guilting black people to give him money in the name of that he's going to somehow build something for black boys. He's been using that scam for years while grifting money out of black people, constantly saying, hit the Cash App, hit the Cash App. There's been a lot of people like myself who have donated to Dr. Umar Johnson over the years, and there is still no school. There are mothers, young women like this who have been waiting to enroll their sons in this school, and now their sons are damn near grown men because Umar Johnson has not taken this task serious. It's really a shame. This man claims to be a school psychologist, that he has experience being a school principal, but yet can you tell me anywhere on this God's green earth, where have you seen Umar Johnson in a school teaching kids as a principal? Where is the documentation of that? Where is the visualization of that? Where is it at? I'll wait. We do know that Dr. Umar Johnson worked in a school, a private school in Philadelphia, where he was not technically a certified school psychologist. He was evaluating IEPs for kids, and he tried to grift off of that by convincing the parents that he could find a way to show that the IEPs were not good for these black youngsters, so that he could grift off of their emotional stress over it by trying to devalidate or not validate the evaluations in terms of IEPs for kids. And so he misdiagnosed, misevaluated just so he could get the bag. And he was shown the door from the private. This man has never worked in any public schools, but he worked for a private school, and they sent him away with his bags packed and his boxes filled up with his belongings and shown the door. Black Anonymous knows all about this history in the chat room. B1 for life. Alicia, thank you for being here. X Freeman, thank you for being here. I'm here to tell you that he's been running this game for a long time. You will often see Dr. Umar Johnson on various podcasts throughout YouTube. And you ask yourself, he says a lot of things when he's on these podcasts. He says things that make sense. He says things that get to your spirit emotionally. He's able to break down the things that black men and black women go through in this society, the racism, the white supremacy. He's able to call out the celebrities, the politicians. He says a lot of things that make you think and make you say, Dr. Umar Johnson has made some good points. But as much as Dr. Umar Johnson runs his mouth about what's happening to black America and what's happening in pop culture, what's happening with rappers, while he can wax poetically about the battle between Drake and Kendrick Lamar, and he can set up on his pulpit on social media and tell you and me about how black men have to stay away from snow bunnies and things of that nature, and how he wants black women not to wear their hair natural, no weaves, no blonde hair, even though he got caught with a stripper some years ago who had blonde hair. Although he will tell you that he cares so much about our youth that he wants to build a school, right? Like you see here, school. He wants to build a school for black boys, which sounds good. It gets at the heartstrings of our emotions because we do want to see more academies, more schools for black boys and black girls, because we know that the educational system in this country is there to destroy our children, as you see this brother right here with his son. So black boys are definitely a gift. They are very important. And so when Umar Johnson talks about these issues, ladies and gentlemen, he says a lot of things that make sense, that makes you feel good, and you are willing to do what? The ultimate, give him your money. But he particularly targets the black woman because black women are his biggest followers, because he's able to pull at their emotional heartstrings and say the things that make black women feel that Umar Johnson is leading them in the right direction. What Umar Johnson uses is like what a lot of people use in the black conscious community, which is not leading black people anywhere, is that he'll get into the black power talk, the Pan-African talk, the let's go back to Africa. Let's go back to Mother Africa. I follow Marcus Garvey, even though Marcus Garvey, when he came to America, was telling black people to go to Africa, even though Marcus Garvey himself never even went to Africa himself. That's crazy. Umar Johnson would tell you and me to go to Mother Africa when you've got thousands of Africans trying to leave Africa, to get out of Africa, to try to come to America, to Italy, to France, to Europe. You have Africans all over Europe trying to get out of Africa, as people like Umar Johnson will say to us that we're all African, while Africans are trying to get out of Africa. He's telling us to go to Africa. Yet he hasn't even created a base right here in America. Umar Johnson will promise you the world, because Umar Johnson, when he is speaking in a way that he does, ladies and gentlemen, in the way he carries on with his cadence, he's really talking about himself, the little boy that he is, the things that he didn't experience as a kid. There's a psychological issue with this man. This man works in psychology, yet he needs to see a psychiatrist his damn self. And the difference between a psychologist and a psychiatrist is that psychiatrists can administer and they can write orders for medications. Psychologists usually do psychological evaluations, and this man was fired from his job in Philadelphia. If you go back and do the research, because he was failing in his job as a psychologist when he wasn't even completely certified when he was in school. So he misled the faculty and the staff about what his credentials were at that time. This is Umar Johnson, y'all. This is crazy. He's continuing to target black people in the audience here. Black women like this who are looking for hope, looking for help, looking for their sons to get a better leg up, because you have a black man who says he wants to create an academy that will be the first academy that will be a Pan-African academy, an FDMG academy for black boys that has a Pan-African twist to it. I'm going to ask you very quickly, folks, would you trust a man to take care of your kids, to educate your kids, who does not take care of his own kids? That's the one thing that I've been trying to figure out. Umar Johnson is telling black women and black men out there, he's telling black women that he can educate your children, your son, but yet this man doesn't even take care of his own kids. This man is not married. He's constantly on podcasts talking about marriage and family and what black men should be doing for black women and black women should be doing for black men. Yet this is a man who is not married to a black woman. He put on a circus a few years ago when he had a block party outside. He had a block party outside these abandoned buildings where he got married to not one woman, but two, in a fake marriage right around kids. An embarrassment. A man puts on fake marriages when he is not married himself, and he is not even taking care of his own kids himself, like this man right here. Why would we support a man like this? How often do you see Umar Johnson at these abandos? He is spending more time on podcasts, going around and having people pay him $5 a pop to be on their podcast. And yes, they'll let him on the podcast because they know that he will bring a lot of views. But he's on these podcasts, ladies and gentlemen, speaking about politics and what's happening with Black America is a distraction to keep you from not thinking about Umar. What about the school? When will the school open up? When will this happen? He's on podcasts telling people, he was recently on a podcast in Canada telling some brothers that were in Canada who were telling him about a black school in Canada that's been very successful. And Umar had the nerve to say, how long has this school been in business? They told Umar 30 years. Umar says, after 30 years, why don't they have more schools? Yet Umar hasn't opened up the first school that he promised you all, going all the way back to 2005 when he conceptualized the idea. And has been collecting money for years now. Still no school. The man spent a bunch of time lying to us about the HVAC. It's been about 14, almost 15 years now that he's been pushing the school hustle on the black community, on social media. He's had those buildings that he purchased for the last 5 years, and there's still nothing getting done. Do you see anybody with a hard hat on? Do you see nails and sheetrock going in and out of the building? Where's the construction workers? Where are the nails? Where are the wood and supplies coming in and out? Where are the electricians? Where are the blueprints? Where are these things, Jay, the informant? B1 for life. Where are the construction supplies? Where is the curriculum? What is he going to teach the kids? Where are the interview applications? How many staff has he hired? How many inspections he's had? Where is the food service? Where are the people to do the security for the school? Where are the bus drivers? He told you that he was going to have a bus that was going to go all over the East Coast and pick up kids like Magical Bus. Like magic. He told you he was going to have a bus to pick up the kids like you see the bus and the kids on here. This is crazy, y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and let you see the video that I'm talking about while he's on a podcast in Canada trying to tell these guys about what that school and what those black folks should have done when he has done himself nothing. We're talking about Umar Johnson, who's been basically ripping black people off, pushing this school scam. And he went on Lord Jamal's podcast and really made an ass of himself when Lord Jamal was trying to help him out with his father-in-law who has built a school in Brooklyn. I'm going to place a clip from Lord to let you know how Lord feels about this man. Let's go into the reaction studio right now, y'all. Let's go in here.
Tell the truth.
And let you see what I'm talking about to start the show off. And definitely share this video if you are watching me on your laptop, your desktop, computer, your tablet, whatever you're using. Hit the button that says share and share it to Facebook. Share this video to your Twitter or X right now, because I definitely would appreciate it. So let's go in here right now and hear this. Check this out.
Honest. Yeah. You know, although there are some people who go into the ministry for the purpose of serving the Lord, most people go into politics and religion to serve themselves.
Got you. Okay.
Check this out. Umar Johnson says that most people go into politics and religion like preachers and politicians to serve themselves. But guess what? Isn't Umar Johnson self-serving? See, this is the thing about him. This is his power. He has great gift of gab. He's able to tell you things that make sense to you, that make you shake your head and say, wow, Umar Johnson's making a lot of sense. But a lot of the things that he's saying, folks, wake up, applies to him. He's using the school, this whole Pan-African. It's all a hustle to hustle black people out of money, He's the same thing that he's talking about on this video. He's that same pandering preacher himself.
In equal numbers, you think in equal numbers, people going into politics at the equal number or equal rate as people going into religion to serve themselves?
Oh, absolutely.
Really?
And if you disagree
And Umar is serving himself as well, y'all.
with that, show me a concrete, practical benefit of black religion in Canada that our people have realized in the past 30 years.
See, Umar thinks that he's got the answer to everything. He's asking this brother to name an institution that has actually benefited black people in Canada. Yet, ask yourself this fundamental question, ladies and gentlemen. What has Umar Johnson, Dr. Umar Johnson, done for black people in America that he claims to have all the answers to? What has he done tangibly? Be honest, I'll wait. Has he built the so-called school yet? No. And black people have given him money for it and still no school. This man has taken well over $700,000. Maybe he's got well over millions of dollars that black people have given him. Still no school. This man hasn't even had enough sense to put together an online school. He continues to hustle you. Umar Johnson, all he does, ladies and gentlemen, is go around and do a lot of speaking to audiences like this. Well, there is no audience in there right now, okay? But I want you to really think about what I'm about to break down in just a moment to you. Let's continue this.
Something significant.
I'd say Crawford. So Crawford Adventist Church.
No, what have they done? Give me the result.
So this man is talking about a church that has their own school. And then as this man is talking, Umar is going to tell this man, I don't want to hear all the other details. Get to the point. You see how arrogant he is? And the only reason why Umar Johnson, you see him on all these podcasts on YouTube, because he needs the money. The man doesn't have a real job. So his job is to go around from podcast to podcast, get paid $500, get on these shows, and then be rude to the guest, as he is right here. When the man is trying to explain to him about this school, he wants to tell him, well, hurry up and get to what I want to hear. Let's let you hear this again.
Significant.
I'd say Crawford. So Crawford Adventist Church.
No, what have they done? Give me the result. I don't need
the
to know
result. So basically, there's a school in Toronto called Crawford. I went to the school.
Okay.
95.
This is a black school, 95% graduation black school in Toronto, Canada.
% black.
Okay.
Some people at the school, black teachers as well, and they have about a 95% graduation rate.
Okay.
As well.
How long has Crawford been in existence?
Well over 30 years.
See, instead of Umar Johnson being respectful and saying that's a hell of a thing that you've got 200 black students, they've been in existence for 30 years. They are graduating black students. That's black young males and young ladies. They're graduating a number of 95%. That's incredible. Instead of Dr. Umar Johnson being proud of that, giving kudos to that, he's looking to go to the negative by saying, well, how long have they been alive? I mean, how long has the school been in existence, right? Didn't even want to give the man kudos about what they are already accomplishing, which is they're doing more to help the black community in Canada than what Umar Johnson is doing for the black community in America. All Umar Johnson is doing in America is running his mouth, talking, lecturing, yelling and screaming and this and that. King Kong consciousness, this and that. We got enough talkers. We got plenty of Negroes that can talk you to death. But we don't have enough Negroes that are getting things done like they are in Canada at this school called Crawford. Let's continue.
Okay. And how many students go to this school?
Adventist school. From grade 1 to 12, I'd say about 200 to 300 kids.
I appreciate the fact that they have a school.
Yeah.
So Umar appreciates the fact that they have a school, something that he doesn't have, but yet he's still going to go to the negative after saying what he just said, folks. Listen.
But I'm wondering though, after 30 years,
See, here he
why
comes.
do you only have one school?
This man, and I'm going to get to the fact that black women are getting sick of him, and I'm going to show you some video of black women expressing how sick of him they really are. But this fool, Umar Johnson, sets up here and says after 30 years, why don't they have more than one school? When this fool doesn't even have a school. He has abandoned buildings in Delaware, Willington that are not open, that are not up to inspection to be open, that are not in condition to be open as a school. He has no faculty, no staff, no security, no nothing, and picked a bad area to have this school, to buy these buildings in. The only thing that Umar Johnson has to show for those buildings to this very day, ladies and gentlemen, he doesn't have this kind of school. Oh, no, he doesn't have anything like this. There's no desks. You haven't seen desks go inside the school. You haven't even seen books go inside the school. There's no library. Where's the library? This man will tell you that he wants to build an FDMG academy all over the world, America, Africa, but yet he has nothing of a blueprint in America. None at all. Only he can get on a plane and fly to Canada, fly to Africa, fly all over the world on your dime, ladies and gentlemen, on your dime, to go to these podcasts and wax poetically and tell this man, why don't they have more than one school when he hasn't accomplished anything for the black community that he claims to love? He hasn't accomplished anything for the black community that he'll set up on these podcasts and have all this critical analysis about what's wrong with black America, and he hasn't proven anything himself, but just that he can talk. Umar Johnson is a talker, y'all.
Tell the truth.
Somebody's gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
Let's get back to it. Listen to this.
My second question to you, do I have to be a Christian to go to that school?
No.
Okay. Okay. Then I can live with that, but they should have more than one by now.
So I think
Once again, do I have to be a Christian to go to that school? The brother says no, but he still sets up there with this, they should have more than one school. They've got one school that's been around for 30 years, one more than you got, Umar. You've got nothing. You don't have teachers. You don't even have students. You have no faculty. You have no security. You have no culinary arts department to fix food for these kids and give them nourishment. You have no curriculum. You have no teachers that have been hired. You've got nothing. You can't even get the bathrooms fixed and the walls and the ceilings fixed at those abandoned buildings. All you've got to show for it is a damn gymnasium.
the challenge is they're Adventist, and there's a bit of bureaucracy between the channels of the Adventist like board. You know, so I think they're kind of dealing with that.
So basically, ladies and gentlemen, it's a religious school. He's saying that there's politics between those within the religious order of the school there, okay? And, of course, Umar had some cheesy things to say about that. But this man talks but has nothing to show for it himself but some abandoned buildings that he has had for 5 years since purchasing them and has done nothing with them. I'm going to put something on the screen that Honors, Brother Lennon Honors, put out on his channel, and let's go over a time capsule of Umar Johnson's bullshit right here. Brother Honors put this together. Let's read this. Here is the J. Moore Academy FDMG timeline, because remember, the buildings that he purchased were once a academy, a school that was a black school prior to him getting there. Thank you for the $2 super chat. I stopped following the narcissist years ago. And what I want to do before I go into this, ladies and gentlemen, is I want to acknowledge the young lady giving me the super chat. That's Lisa Jackson. She says, Lisa Jackson says, I stopped following this narcissist years ago. Thank you, my sister. Thank you very much. But don't go anywhere tonight until you hear the sister that I'm going to present, letting you know why she is tired of Umar Johnson pandering as he's been doing towards black women in particular. Don't go anywhere. You've got to hear that tonight. But let's go into this right here. I want to give you guys a timeline right now. So in 2005, Umar Johnson conceptualized the idea of FDMG. How many of y'all know that? Okay. In 2006, the J. Moore Academy opened. That's the academy, the buildings where he has those abandoned buildings right now. They originally opened in 2006. Okay. In 2009, the building foundation failed. Okay. This building foundation failed. That's the Moore Academy. It failed. The foundation for it, okay? Now, in 2010, the Moore Academy closed down. In 2010, Umar Johnson announced that the FDMG will open September 11, 2013. We still got no school. He said he was going to open up the school in 2013. And what year are we in? What year are we in, everybody? We're in the year of 2024. What the hell is going on? Okay. In 2012, the new Moore Academy opened. So they tried to reopen the Moore Academy in 2014. Umar Johnson starts collecting donations to place a bid on St. Paul's. What was St. Paul's originally? This is his original sin and lie to us right here. St. Paul's. St. Paul's College, which he claimed Frederick Douglass had lineage to. And Umar Johnson came out with some video where he was walking up and down this campus claiming that he was going to purchase St. Paul's College with dormitories and that kids were going to stay there on campus and so on and so forth. Umar Johnson lied to everybody and said that he put a bid on St. Paul's College. He never put a bid on this college. He never put a bid on it at all. That was a thunderous lie by Umar Johnson. That was a thunderous lie by Umar Johnson. Let's go back again to this list right here. So he never purchased St. Paul. In 2015, the new Moore Academy closed after opening in 2012. It ended up closing again for a second or third time in 2015. 2017, this is really crazy, y'all. This is really crazy. In 2017, Umar Johnson visited the school buildings in Wilmington, Delaware. 2019, Umar Johnson purchases the school buildings in Wilmington, Delaware. And in 2024, school buildings are still trapped bandos, no progress, no kids in the school, nothing happening as he spends all his time on podcasts is a way to make money, right? Let me have some water here, excuse me. As a way to make money, because this man has no real job. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. I want you all to have an open mind of what I'm about to display here with these B-roll videos. First of all, he has pulled at our heartstrings with the whole black power stuff. I'm blacker than you, and I'm black, and I'm black, and I'm black, and I'm black, and I'm blacker than you type talk. Right? Hands in the air, right? Once again, pushing the black, I'm more blacker than you type talk, right? With the hands up. Then Umar comes into our lexicon because he was on the Hidden Colors and he could talk and wax poetically on there. And we got caught up in those videos by Tariq Nasheed introducing this fool to us, Dr. Umar Johnson. Umar Johnson tells us that he's a school psychologist, a school principal, that he's gone to school to get various degrees and what have you, even though it seems very shady when you ask him about his degrees. It's like he has to go through a whole conundrum just to tell you what his damn degrees are and how he actually got them, right? So he'll tell you he has these degrees, but then you have to ask yourself, when does Dr. Umar Johnson take time for what we call as CEUs? I'm a therapist. I work in mental health. You've got to go and take CEUs, which is continuing education credits, right? When does this man take time to re-up his certification, to maintain his certification, to make sure that he's up on the latest? You could tell by the way Umar Johnson talks that he is not up on the latest of what's happening in psychology. When is he going to the conventions, the conferences, to up his certification, to maintain his credentials? When, everybody? When was the last time you've heard Umar Johnson tell you, everybody, I'm getting on a plane because I'm getting ready to fly to Washington, D.C. to maintain my credentials? What have you? I'll wait. You haven't, because Umar Johnson is not legitimate. All right? He lies and tells you that he's a school psychologist. This man has never been a school psychologist, let alone a school principal, because when he was fired from the only job he had, which is why you don't see him working at any schools, no real legitimate schools anymore, when he had the job that he had, it was in the private sector or a private school, and he was misleading the faculty of his full credentials there and misdiagnosing the students there, which is why he got booted out. And now ask yourself, what psychologist is constantly on social media talking about how he's the greatest psychologist, the most sought after, but yet constantly talking about, give me this, give me that, I need super chats, I need cash apps? What doctor do you know? Now ask yourself this very fundamental question. Why is it that we always see Dr. Umar Johnson in a car? Always in his car like this, with a cell phone. Why does he always do all of his presentations and talk to black people on social media always in his car? Like you see right here with this brother right here whose car is broken down. Why is Umar always broken down like this? When have you seen Umar? And then if he's not in his car, ladies and gentlemen, then we are often seeing Umar Johnson in a hotel room like this. Why are we always only seeing him in a hotel room? Where is his own home, his own apartment, his own house, his own condo, his own any damn thing? Why is it that he always presents himself either in a car like this or a motel, hotel, Holiday Inn, y'all? When do you see him when have you, ask yourself this fundamental question, when have you seen Umar Johnson in an office like this? In a real office or a real business setting, on a computer with a suit and tie on, really taking care of some business as a psychologist? When have you seen Umar in this particular light, other than being in a car in a damn motel? When have you seen him in his own office? Like you see this brother right here pulling real documents and paper. When have you? Ask yourself the fundamental question. When have you seen him again in an office like this brother doing real work? When have you? You have not.
Tell the truth.
You only see him again in a broken down car or some car, and you only see him in a motel, and you see him flying to these different podcasts that he's on so that he can get paid $500. And while all you see is Umar Johnson in a car, if he's the most sought after psychologist, if he's the most decorated, the most certified, Why is it that he doesn't have an office? Why is he only in hotels, motels, in a damn car, always on social media? You never see him say, hey, everybody, I'm getting ready to go home. You never see him at home, in his home office, or anywhere. Ask yourself why. Well, ask yourself again, where are the supplies for the kids, the books like that? Where are the school chairs? Where are the stacked library books? Where is the organization? You do know that he likes to go and speak to audiences in empty places like this. You do know that. But Umar Johnson is not giving you the truth. He's been lying and continues to lie, particularly to black women. And this is why black women are calling him out. So with that said, let me let you see. This is what it looks like right now, right? But this is what the FDMG Academy could look like when there was an individual who made a rendering for Umar, and Umar turned the man down. Check this out. This is what it could look like if Umar Johnson was serious about opening up a school with these buildings. This is what it could look like. If he was serious about revamping these buildings, getting things up and running, this is what it could look like. Those are the possibilities, ladies and gentlemen, of what Umar Johnson could have built with those buildings had he been willing and not arrogant enough to be able to be open enough to allow people to help him. There have been people who wanted to help him with the electric work on those buildings, fixing the roof. He has turned a lot of people down. He has manipulated constantly. He has lied to us about HVAC being there when it was not working. He has lied and told you that people have come and messed up the building, which was a lie. This is a man that talks this blackety black stuff, but yet he'll say that, oh, he can't get any black people to do good work for him. So then he'll run off and go get the white man or some Mexican man or what have you. He's a fraud, y'all. He is on social media for the clout chase. That's why you see him on these podcasts running his mouth. I'm letting you know that Umar Johnson speaks a good game on these podcasts. He says a lot of great things on the podcast, but it doesn't mean anything because he doesn't live up to anything that he says, which is why black women are sick of him. Here we go. Let's go to the first video in question. Let's go into the reaction studio again. Check out what this sister has to say about Umar. She reads Umar 100% tells it like it is.
Phone and open up my camera and tell y'all that I'm sick of somebody. I stand on that. Understand that I'm not a hater by a long shot. Understand that I don't need to bash anybody. I don't need to bash anybody. I'm not biased. But when I tell you with everything in me, I'm so sick of Dr. Umar's manipulation tactics. I'm so sick of it. I am so sick of him using the black struggle, okay, to profit off our pain and struggle. I'm so fucking sick of it. I am so sick of you guys not asking Dr. Umar the necessary questions that you need to ask Dr. Umar. Because he's supposed to be a stand-up black man. And he's supposed to be a father. Do you really think that it's coincidental that he don't ever talk about his children? We don't ever see examples from Dr. Umar of how to be a decent father. He just doing all this talking to y'all and y'all going along with it because he's an excellent speaker to where he can grasp the attention of an entire crowd. Okay? Because he tells black folks what they want to hear. Because he profits off our struggle and pain, especially pondering to black women. He knows.
Boom. She's absolutely right. He is making a profit off the pain of black people, but particularly black women who are his main bread and butter. And y'all know that it's true.
Tell the truth.
She's absolutely right.
That black women don't feel protected in this country, that we are the last herd, that we are not provided for. So he uses that struggle to profit off of that. But let me tell y'all something, sisters, before y'all come up up under my post telling me that I'm bashing another black man. Why doesn't this man have a wife? Why? Why doesn't he talk about his children? Why?
Didn't I say, everybody, that Umar Johnson is always giving his opinion about black men and black women being married and family structures and what have you, but yet you don't see his family structure. You don't even see Umar with his own kids because why? He doesn't have custody of his own kids. Umar has some entanglement issues with his own family life. Not married, as the sister says.
Why? Why is he always talking about cookies here and there? Why is that?
When he's talking about cookies, he's talking about women's private parts. Why would you want to send your kids to a man who claims to be a school principal who is constantly talking about women's private parts by calling them cookies and constantly caught up in this whole colorism as he talks about black women being vanilla, being brown, sugar, pistachio. He's got all these different words of color for different black women and women in general. Is that the behavior of a professional school psychologist or / principal? I think not.
Why? Let me explain to y'all something, okay? A decent stand-up black man, a man that respects women genuinely, will not part his lips on social media or anywhere else making, provocative comments on women. They're not doing that. You've never seen
right. They're working like this, brother.
That. You've never seen all the great activists that we had in the past do that. The only
right. You didn't see Malcolm X do that once he cleaned his life up. You didn't see Dr. King doing those sort of things as well. All the great activists weren't running around that we know of doing these things so outward in the way that Umar Johnson displays it, verbally out of his own mouth.
So-called leader, because y'all call Dr. Umar y'all leader, has done it is him. Because he has no respect for black women. I don't give a fuck what he tell you. I don't care if he run around here saying snow bunnies, what he be saying all the black queens forever, snow bunnies never. It's a manipulation tactic y'all don't understand. I'm gonna tell y'all how I feel.
A complete manipulation tactic, y'all.
When I see a lot of you black women supporting Dr. Umar and he's not giving y'all any results or not giving the black community any results.
By the way, I want to thank everybody that's in the chat room that's here. We got Black Anonymous. We got the great dancer, Thank you for being here. That boy, Brent. Thank you for being here. That boy, X Freeman. Thank you for being here. PGH, Big Dog. Thank you for being here. I appreciate everybody that's in the chat room that's listening. Jonathan Kidd is in the house. My man, Jonathan Kidd. Much respect to you, Jonathan Kidd. Let's continue.
It feels like watching a battered woman getting her ass beat day and night, getting her head hit in between the washer and dryer. And you know she just gonna take him back because he'll bring her a good hot meal and some flowers and rub her feet. That's what y'all relationship is with Dr. Umar.
Right.
That's what it is. It amazes me how you guys cannot identify narcissistic tendencies and his manipulation tactics.
Right.
He's such a master manipulator. He's using your struggle against you. And he's trying to convince you that he's for you.
Alicia, good to see you.
I want to remind y'all that it's
Let me
been
pause
over
this real
15
quick.
years.
And I thank you, Queen. I've been stopped listening to him. He's dumb. Now he's losing his donations from women. Yes, he should lose his donations from women because he's despicable. I wanted to say to my sister here, Miss Monica, thank you for the $5 super chat. She says, Monica says, keep telling the truth about fake Dr. Umar. Thank you. Thank you. Alicia, oh, you have a new avatar. Very nice. She says, good to see you too. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's get back to it, everybody, because I don't want to keep you all night. I have a few other clips I want to show you, but let's get to this clip. The sister is telling the damn truth, okay?
Tell the truth.
Every year, Dr. Umar pushed his date back. Every fucking year.
Let me show you something. How Umar Johnson continues the bullshit. I was going to show this later, but you all are familiar with this video that I'm going to show you. Check this out. This is another Brother Honors did this short little video, and she's absolutely right. Check this out.
Today, January 6th, 2024, marks the 14-year anniversary of Umar Johnson's 2010 Facebook post where he wrote, promises in 2010 to begin laying the groundwork for the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Pan-African School for Black Boys. Specializing in learning disabilities and disruptive behavior disorders, this will be a private school, and yes, you will pay in order for your son to attend. Grand opening, September 11th, 2013. This is chess, not checkers. 14 years later, and there is still no school. 14 years later, and not one boy has been educated. 14 years later, and Umar Johnson continues to collect money for a school that does not exist.
You hear that? And listen to what the sister said here. Here we go.
He's such a master manipulator. He's using your struggle against you. And he's trying to convince you that he's for you. Mm-hmm. But I want to remind y'all that it's been over 15 years. Every year, Dr. Umar pushed his date back. Every fucking year.
Every fucking year.
If Dr. Umar truly wanted, and I say this 10 toes down, if he truly wanted to help the black community, he wanted to help the black boys, with all that money that y'all done fucking sent his ass, because y'all done sent this brother over, I know, $3 to $4 million at a time. Okay? All that money, he could have used that money to urgently go purchase a little bit of land and some trailers and start that school there. You know why he ain't gonna do that, dummies? Because he wants to continue to go on with this scam. He wants to continue to sell y'all hopes and dreams.
Right. Umar Johnson makes money off of pushing black people a hope and dream. He does not want us to be successful and to be victorious, because think about it. Most of these Negroes like Umar Johnson, they're all the same. If black people, you remember, Umar Johnson has come out publicly and said that he's against reparations, because if black people start winning, if we get reparations and we start winning and we start having positive things, it puts people like Umar and those just like him, hustlers like him, it puts them out of business, because they have nothing to promote to us. Umar Johnson makes his living off of pushing the struggle and pushing the things that we struggle with. And he makes money off of us, and he gets popular off of it, and he goes on to podcast talking about what's wrong and what's happening to black people. If we were to win and not have these problems, there would be no need for Umar Johnson and anybody else like him, because that's how he makes his money and his popularity, you see. She's absolutely right.
Because at the end of the day, Dr. Umar is so calculative, and he's such a textbook serial narcissist to where he knows that black people psychologically is weak. He knows that. So he uses that to ponder on y'all. He uses that to keep that money flowing. He ain't gonna never open that school. If you don't believe me, come back to this
the
video
money,
5 years from now.
like she said, he uses it, everybody, to keep the money flowing, just like that.
Tell the truth.
Keep it flowing. You see?
I guarantee you it'll fucking age well, and it'll sit well with me. I guarantee you that. I don't have no reason to bash Dr. Umar for nothing. I used to be the biggest Dr. Umar fan, the biggest Dr. Umar supporter. I have cashed out Dr. Umar plenty of times. And I thought to myself, I woke up one day, I said, wait a minute. Something ain't right about this brother. All I'm saying is, before y'all come up under my post with that bullshit, go back, go look at the receipts. Look at how long Dr. Umar been running this shit. And ask yourself, okay, if he can't seem to get the school open, then what can he do temporarily to help these little black boys? And again, he's going around the country to different HBCUs to talk to, the community, which is fine. But ask yourself, what is he actually doing? Ask yourself that.
Ladies and gentlemen, I say the same thing to everybody in the chat room. Can you ask yourself, what is he actually doing? Other than going on podcasts throughout the social media and running his mouth, he's a very good orator. He can talk to anybody about the problems that black men and black women face. And when you listen to him talk on the Art of the Dialogue or any of these podcasts that he's come on, whether it be Vlad TV, any of these podcasts, we got to be honest, he sounds powerful. He makes statements that are true as it relates to the things that black people struggle with. But that's all it is. After that is just talk. He's spending all that time talking about those things, yet he's not living up to what he's been telling black people that he was going to do for years now, and he hasn't done anything. He's just a talker. He has not done anything at all that has benefited black people. Here's another example when he was talking to Father David, who he ended up disrespecting Father David on his own podcast, and a black woman called up. And what she revealed is what we need to all realize, is that Umar Johnson doesn't really like black people. That's the myth. But he particularly doesn't like black women. He's very disrespectful. If you've heard him over the years on radio, on all these different platforms, he has gotten into clashes with black women that have tried to call him out. He gets in clashes with black people who simply ask very simple questions such as, when will the school open? How much more money do you need? Why is the school not open? He gets very upset. He does not like to be challenged because of his narcissistic system. And he's very disrespectful to black women. I'll let you see an example here. Let's go back into the reaction studio and let y'all hear this one. This one will raise some eyebrows. And this was another one that Brother Honors on his channel was reviewing. And I clipped a little piece of this. Check this out when his sister calls in and she literally says, I'm sick of Umar Johnson. And she said, you don't like women. You are a women hater. You're always talking about people, but you've done nothing for the black community. And of course, Umar had to make it seem like this black woman was out of control. And no, she told the God honest truth in this situation, y'all. The God honest truth.
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
Here we go.
Okay, who we got on the phone line? Good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon.
What's your first name? Where you calling from?
My name is Mary, and I'm calling from Jersey.
Hey, Jersey.
And I'm sick of listening to Umar. Umar, let's talk.
And I'm sick of listening to Dr. Umar as well, sister.
My name is Mary, and I'm calling from Jersey.
Hey, Jersey.
And I'm sick of listening to Umar. Umar, let's talk. Okay? First and foremost.
That's Dr. Umar. It's the Dr. Umar.
Well, then act like a doctor and stop criticizing everybody.
He does not act like a doctor, y'all. And I'm going to be honest with everybody. How do we know that? Ask yourself this very fundamental question. How do we know that Dr. Umar is actually still technically a doctor in terms of keeping up with his certifications and his credentials? When has he had the time to go recertify himself or to maintain his level of education with CEUs? When has he? Because if he has not upped, I'm just going to break this news to you. If Umar has not upped his credentials, meaning he has not gone to conferences to maintain his standards of practice as a doctor, if he has not done this, then he may have the education background of going to school, but would not be recognized as a doctor if he hasn't maintained his credentials over these years. Ask yourself, has this man maintained his credentials? And when has he done so? When he spends all of his time on social media running his mouth, excuse me, still getting over my cold, y'all. When does he have time to maintain? He spends more time on these podcasts than he has at that school. Oh, wait a minute, let me correct myself. Umar spends more time on other people's podcasts running his mouth than he has at those abandoned buildings that he has not turned into a school.
Okay? First and foremost.
That's Dr. Umar. It's the Dr. Umar.
Well, then act like a doctor and stop criticizing everybody. Bottom line, people who
Emotions, non-emotional strategic thinking.
Hater. You are a black woman.
We're emotional, my sister. We can't win being emotional.
Dude, you criticize everybody. I ain't never seen you do anything for black people.
She's right. He criticizes everybody, and he's done nothing for black people. You see how disrespectful he was there? Dr. Umar Johnson doesn't like being challenged. The same way when he didn't like being challenged. Well, the same way when he was on Lord Jamal's podcast, and Lord Jamal didn't even try to challenge Umar. He just asked him very simple questions, and Umar had an attitude. But let me let you hear the Lord. Boy, throat. Let me let you hear Lord Jamal break down how disrespected he felt by Umar Johnson. Let's go check that out right now. This is crazy, y'all.
To promote whatever he want to promote, to do his spiel, And although the brother says a lot of good shit concerning black people and all that, he says a lot of good stuff. When it comes to him having this school that he keeps talking about, this Marcus Garvey Frederick Douglass school, there was a lot of people that had questions about it, including myself. And when people knew that he was going to come on my show, they wanted answers, as did I. Now, also when he came on my show, he didn't know that my father-in-law has already done what the fuck he's trying to do. He already started a school. He's had his own school in Brooklyn now for damn near 36 years, some crazy shit like that. Okay? But he started at levels and all this type of shit. And he did it with much less money. This man supposedly had $750,000 that he got from the black community over 6 years and has opened nothing. So I brought him on my show.
He has opened nothing. Do you hear what Lord is saying? He has opened nothing. He's got abandoned buildings. But you don't see anything like this. No, nothing like this. Lord is right.
Show to try to get some answers. Also to offer him resources.
Mm-hmm.
I spoke to my father-in-law prior to that, told him he was coming on. My father-in-law said, listen, if he wants some help, if he'd like to sit down and have a conversation, I'm willing to tell him what to basically share his knowledge and his resources, because now my father-in-law is the type that this man's able to, his fundraising, he's able to get a couple million a year. Every year he's getting funds like that, and not from government agencies and all that, from donors and shit like that. Black people. This is a black school we talking about. So I offered assistance. You can go watch the show. It's got plenty of views. Basically, Umar got on my show and acted like an asshole. And acted like he don't want no help. He don't need no help.
Right. Remember when Lord Jamal said that his father-in-law has a school that he's had over 30 years and that he could give him some tips and some pointers. And Umar Johnson kept going on about, well, I don't need no help because I've got elders giving me advice, and I'm going to open up the only Pan-African style school, FDMG. Nobody's ever done this. And Lord Jamal said that the concept may be different, but how you put together a school and you prepare the structure of a school and how you go about getting fundraising for it remains the same. But Umar had an attitude. I don't know why he would get an attitude when you have someone like Lord Jamal that was trying to help and assist. And Umar had an attitude because he's an arrogant son of a you-know-what, okay? I'm arrogant.
He ain't gonna give no answers if you're not a donor. That's the fucking attitude he gave. And basically, he ended up playing himself on my show. I didn't attack the man or nothing like that.
He played himself.
But he got real defensive, and he's still butthurt to this day.
Everybody, please share this video in all of your social media. I definitely would appreciate that if you would do that, folks. Share it in your Twitter, your Facebook, whatever you use. Share it in your community tab if you are a content creator. Once again, I want to thank everybody for watching the program tonight. I want to say this. I want to say thank you for watching again. I want to say like and comment when you get a chance on the video. Share the video. Subscribe to the channel. We're doing good things over here. A little bit different than what I do on the Information Man show, but in terms of reacting to various different videos, and I've got so much more content that you're going to be seeing on this channel. The channel's doing pretty good. It's growing step by step, getting some good views so far, and we're going to keep doing what we're doing. I appreciate everybody that's in the chat room that's following the channel. Share the videos. We have to put this type of content out on the YouTube streets and let people know on the YouTube streets who this man really is, because you see him on all these different podcasts, all these people who have podcasts, and you see Umar Johnson on there running his mouth, and it's easy to get caught up in the things that he's saying that do make some sense as it relates to the plight of what black people deal with. But when you peel back the layers on these YouTube streets, the layers of all that stuff that he says that makes some sense, you have to at the same time say, well, what has this man done for the black community when he's constantly criticizing other people for not doing anything? Yet he has been collecting money for years now, has not opened up any school. No black boys have been taught, have been improved. Nobody has learned anything from Umar Johnson. There is no school. There are just buildings that are not going to pass inspection. He has no curriculum. He has no teachers. He has no security, no bus drivers, no nothing, no hall monitors, no TAs to assist the teachers, no teachers, no board of advisors to make sure that things are being spent right with the school. Okay, you can't build a school on donations like the way he's been getting donations alone. Where's the nurse? Where's the school nurse? You need a school nurse. If the kids get hurt, you got to get when you have kids, you have to have insurance for the damn school. How is he going to get? See, so this whole thing is a pipe dream because Umar Johnson is too focused on me. I want to be the king of the mountain. He needs help. And let me let you see another part from Lord Jamal and a black woman that came on with him on Instagram. I believe it was Instagram. And she had some things to say about Umar Johnson. She said that she was a part of an organization from Mississippi, an organization in Mississippi that was trying to assist Umar, and he totally turned them down too. The man is not trying to build this. This has been a manipulation and a scam from Umar, allegedly, for quite some time. Let's go back and let you hear this part. I want y'all to hear this. This is crazy. This will be the last clip of the night. Check this out.
When he was talking about this shit, children weren't even going to school. Okay.
So what Lord Jamal is saying right here is that when Umar was talking about opening up a school, he was heavily talking about opening up a school as well, as he keeps moving the dates, during the time that we were in the pandemic when kids couldn't go to school, but he was still pushing this hustle. Let's continue.
So whenever that was, we were still in a lockdown. And he was still talking about opening schools. And I'm thinking, why not an online school? If you really want to help, why not disseminate a curriculum that other teachers around the country?
You hear what Lord Jamal is saying right now. This is deep stuff. We have talked about this. Everybody has mentioned this. Why didn't Umar Johnson just open up an online school? It would have been cheaper, and he could have really made a lot of money pushing a curriculum and counts. It's a lot that he could have done right if he had been in the right mind frame.
Could follow.
Right.
If you really want to help, if it's really about teaching black children, or is it just about you having a fucking school and you having the money and you trying to create some shit that you can fucking get the credit for?
He's absolutely right. This is about Umar Johnson wanting to get all the credit. It's all about his ego, feeding his ego, this ego that in which he believes that he's the greatest psychologist that ever lived. This whole situation is about Umar Johnson. It's not about black kids. He simply uses black kids as the backdrop to a canvas, a art canvas of trying to put himself on a pedestal.
That what it's about?
Right. Like for me, it's been years. I remember watching Hidden Colors in 2014 and he was pushing the school. I remember him saying that he lost $1 million because of somebody, but I mean, I know, one of my organizations that I dealt with, would deal with Dr. Umar, and we were trying to help him find a place in Mississippi. And one thing I know is that man has surpassed any amount of money that he has been trying to get to build that school. Where all that money is going, we don't know. A lot of us would love for this school to actually happen, but it's just not looking like it. And I think it's time for us to start looking and taking a harder look at Dr. Umar and saying, look, sir, you have to be accountable because you making us look bad. You look great when you're talking to white media, but when it comes to accountability to what the things that you say that you're doing with the money that we've been giving you, it's always an excuse. And we talk.
She's absolutely right. Umar Johnson gives excuses every time he is asked again about when will the school open up. Right? Every time we are trying to figure out when this so-called school is going to open, that he has done no real construction work on to get it up to speed at all. And he keeps, as she said, moving the dates, moving the goalposts every time, every year to milk the con game on black people.
Tired of excuses.
And we tired of you asking for the grits money and the fucking all this other bullshit that you talking about and acting like you can't have. You're not giving a donor. Then why, if you're not a donor, why should I answer your questions? Because maybe if you answered them intelligently, I would be a donor. Maybe I can help you get more donors. If you just be transparent.
Right. Now, this is a very good point here by Lord Jamal and the young lady. If Umar Johnson would just be honest, it would open the door. I believe he's saying something that's very true here.
Tell the truth.
That it would open up the door for Umar Johnson. What do you all think? That if Umar Johnson would be more honest and transparent about what's going on with the monies that he's collecting and what's going on with the construction of the building, this would open up the door for more people to want to donate. Because now he's being open. He spends a lot of time criticizing celebrities, but yet at the same time, he wants celebrities to give him money. It's ridiculous. If Umar Johnson was more transparent and honest, he probably would get bigger donors like those who have big pockets, like the celebrities and the athletes that he criticizes. Again, before I get out of here, when's the last time you've seen Umar Johnson in an office? Why is there no office, no home, no real base of operation for Umar Johnson like you see this brother here at the computer or this brother right here at the computer? Where is his base of operation other than just being in a damn car like this or being at some damn motel, hotel, Holiday Inn like this? That's all you see. Let's get back to it.
With what the fuck you're talking about. But the fact that you don't want to show us is showing us that you a shady motherfucker.
Right, exactly.
And we tired, and the reason why we have to vet
Tell the truth.
people in the black community, because so many times we've heard the right thing. We got niggas that come in. Obama was one of these niggas. He said the right shit.
He's absolutely right, Obama. Obama did the same thing. Talked a lot of slick stuff, and we got nothing.
He had the right oratory and the right look.
Just like Umar. Just like Umar.
And the tonation and
the
all
vernacular.
And the vernacular.
Just like
to
Umar.
make you feel like, yeah, this nigga is for me. But then when it came to the actual meat and potatoes of what the fuck is going on, there was nothing there.
Right.
There was nothing there for you and I. And we've been scammed many times in the black community.
Right. And we've been scammed many times in the black community by people like Umar Johnson, who play on our emotions about our history, about our plight as a people, plays on the emotions, collects money, claims he's going to do something that nobody else has ever done, hypes himself up like he's the greatest thing since sliced bread when he's not. And black people, we continue to get played. It's not only the politicians that play us, but it's actually black people who get on social media. Social media has been a gift and a curse to black people. Social media has allowed us to be able to express ourselves, but it's also opened the door for people like Umar and many others to scam us out of our money. It's a damn shame.
Tell the truth. And I'm sorry, it's not even accusing somebody of being a scammer, but you gotta vet a motherfucker. You gotta vet a motherfucker. Like in a 5% nation, we don't allow people to just come around and just be like, oh yeah, I'm God body. Oh yeah? How you get at this man? That's a way of vetting somebody. If you don't know certain idiosyncrasies and all that type of shit, we know that you're not real. And we're not fucking with you.
All right. So there we have it. There we have it, everybody. I appreciate everybody that's here. Thank you again. Let me go in the chat room and see what a few people are saying before I end the program this Saturday night. Jay Morrison. Yeah, Jay Morrison was Jay Morrison. I've done a video on him. Jay Morrison is another one who has run game on black people. Let me see right now. We've got the only listening to the truth of God. I never believed Obama's story. Too much craziness. All right. Monica back in the house says there's no transparency with Umar. Everything is under Umar's control. He cannot be trusted. Correct.
Tell the truth.
Thank you for that, sister. You are 100% correct. We got Big Dog, Philly OG in the house. What's going on, brother? He says, like, share, and listen. Thank you for the support tonight. X Freeman, thank you again for coming over. Let me see. Ripples Wave says this. Snow bunnies never. T Money, thank you for coming over. T Money, thanks a lot. Again, clap to you. Alicia is in the house. She says, hey, to Big Dog Philly OG. We got, let me see what we got here. We've got Tell the Truth, Shame the Devil in the house. And Tell the Truth and Shame the Devil says he doesn't speak for FBA or ADOS. The reparations now, lineage only, anti-black hate crime bill now. Any group against reparations. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I'm definitely for reparations. That's
Tell the truth.
No doubt in my mind. But then we've got Dave, who's come in, who says Umar is a con man. Yes, he is a con man.
Tell the truth.
He's been a con man for a very long time, everybody. And I want to thank everybody that's come over into the chat room tonight and have been a part of what we have going on here. So thank you very much. I want you to remember when you see these videos, because you're going to see them, you're going to see more podcasts, some that you've heard of, some that you haven't heard of, that are going to have Umar Johnson on their show. He's going to be running his mouth. He's going to be saying some things that you're going to say make sense, that are powerful, the way he's able to break down certain elements of what ails the black community and our history. He's a great orator, like that sister says, but don't get caught up in his orator skills. Don't get caught up in the things that he says about what the black community is, what's happening to the black community. We already know this. Malcolm X has told us this. We've got plenty of people that told us this before he was even born, before Umar was even born. So we know this. He's just really good at expressing it and getting into your heartstrings about what he's saying. But while he's doing that, remember, ask yourself, where is the school? Why is the school not open? Why is it that you only see Umar Johnson in a car on his cell phone talking to you, right? Why don't you ever see him with his own kids, taking care of them, with them? Ask yourself that. Why is he always just in a hotel room, laying on his back? And why are we giving him money so that he can fly to these damn podcasts to run his mouth and do absolutely nothing about opening up a school? Let's keep it real, y'all. Let's keep it real. With that said, everybody, I want to say peace and respect. Love, thank you for supporting the show. Share the videos. And this is Info Media Reacts. I'll be back with more content. I appreciate everybody that's regular followers of this channel. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Don't be shy about subscribing to the channel because we're going to keep doing content like this. Similar content. I'll be reacting to many other videos, many other situations. Believe me, you'll definitely enjoy what we have going on over here. Don't miss out on anything. So with that said, everybody, take care, peace, and I'll be back for some more. Peace, everybody. Peace.
Tell the truth.
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
Tell the truth.